uh, Mother nursing her baby, and to that baby, that mother is the baby is pre-verbal, so has no words for it, has no concepts for that experience. Uh, you understand? So, mama, right? And then so we, in order to communicate that experience to each other, we put labels on it, and those labels reduce that experience to those labels. Unless you hearing it will perceive not the labels, but use them as direction to that experience. God. To that baby, the mother, breastfeeding them is God, is holy. Why? Because she is the sole source of nourishment, of love, touch, and protection, security. All of these are words, concepts. The baby is pre-verbal. He or she is experiencing that. And then, so that baby is inside all of us. That baby that we were is in us. And every experience we had since birth until now is in us, whether we know it or not. And some influence us more than the others. It's like a Russian doll. One goes inside the other, the layers of an onion. Every person we were at every stage of our development is in us, and then so we something happens and triggers an event that happened when we were at an earlier stage, anywhere from birth until now, or even before. That person that we were when that happened has a reaction that we may not even remember, but that would explain why we behave as we do. So the baby, to the baby, the word we use is idolizing. Why we idolize someone, why I would idolize a woman, because uh, she would remind me of my mom when I was a baby. That baby inside of me needs that mom to get, from whom to receive the love it didn't get the way it wanted it, was neglected. Scapegoating. So scapegoating is how a lot of us deal with our pain. Is we project it on an object, a target. Some mothers pick their own sons, their own kids, or the kid's dad, the partner in front of the kid, which is what I got. You see it, post video of my mom doing that. Or his friends, you see how mom uh, scapegoats and demonizes Peter. I'll put all the videos where she does that. So to isolate me, in order to anyone that loves me or offers any opportunity to me, she treats that way in order to sabotage those and keep me dependent only on her dependence on my dependence on her. So this condition is called Munchausen by proxy. So idolizing, scapegoating, uh, sabotaging of the person's opportunities, and then uh, personification. What is it called? Individuation. So in order to individuate, narcissist needs to discard. So okay, so the image of Christ. Christ is being scapegoated, right? On the cross with a crown of thorns, crucified, humiliated, he's mocked, he's the king of the Jews, mockingly. So he's a scapegoat of all of us, right? So we blame everything on him, or all of our sins on him, and he's being punished for our sins. At the same time, he's being idolized. He's the highest because of what he's done. Do you see the two most extreme opposites at the same time on the same person? So the contrast between those two is fascinating. Simultaneous polar opposites experienced on one individual. Uh, Idolizing and scapegoating one individual, and which is what narcissistic abuse is like. You understand? Uh, I love you. I hate you. Don't leave me. Means I need you to complain about, to accuse you, blame you for everything. I don't want you to leave. So that squatter was saying the most horrendous accusations about me, things about me publicly, posting it on Nextdoor app, and I see other girls doing the same in this neighborhood about their tenant. And we would ask her, even the couple, well, why don't you leave if it's that bad? She wouldn't want to because she wants someone to complain about. You see, she wants to stay here and say, why don't you just leave me alone? That tendency, those kinds of relationships experienced by me, because my mom was treating me that way. I'm my mom's scapegoat. I'm my entire family's scapegoat. Maybe I'm the scapegoat at that dog park. I'll show you what they do to my post. When I posted that, I said it's you defacing public property and ignoring the message that's there, scapegoating the individual. I'll show you what Miriam Priso, the city council member who's the dog park administrator who kicked me out, says about. And so this individual, the whole story, and then the implications in city government, how the city council is prevented from hearing this because if they hear it, they will cut funding to the dog park. How this corruption is so deep and so prevalent, it's more convenient to cover it up, to put in all these mechanisms to cover it up than to acknowledge it. No one will acknowledge it. They don't want to. The Nextdoor app just banned me temporarily because I'm asking, why don't you post this? Why don't you let me post this? It's a taboo topic to post. And the movie Border Town with Antonio Banderas and J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez, says is a depiction of a true story, how these girls south of the border in these, because of NATO, there's very, very cheap labor, and they put up with horrible kind of abuse, they're killed, raped, and by the people who own those factories, and nobody wants to do anything about it because the factory owner owns the politicians this side of the border and both sides of the border. And the journalists don't want to air it. The journalists are discouraged from airing that as they are over here. So this is the story. Tanya saved my life at the center of it. Because Tanya loved me, I am alive to tell the story. Wake up, America. Dot world.